Nazara from Nazara's Fine Crafts, and today we're going to go over the second episode of Beginner's Crochet on how to do, we're going to learn how to do a double crochet today. If you like this kind of video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to continue to learn different ideas, different stitches, different techniques. I will be going over a pattern reading video as well as how to do more advanced stitches and things like that. So in the last video we learned how to chain, so hopefully you guys are comfortable with that, have figured out where you like to have your yarn on your tension hand and how you like to hold your hook. So we are going to start with a chain of 25, and just to go back over that, you tie onto your hook, you go in front of, underneath, and around, and you hook your yarn there, and you pull it through your loop, and we're going to do that 25 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can do a double crocheted scarf. First one is just a regular double crochet, double crochet, double crochet all the way up. The second way is just different placement. So you'll see later on, I'll show you the difference between the two, but one is a flatter surfaced and the other one builds a little bit more texture. So stay tuned for both of them and see which one you like best. So in any pattern that you have with double crochet, they're going to tell you, say, okay, so we want a row of 25. You're going to you need to go ahead and chain 26, because that is going to be your 25th double crochet. So what you do to double crochet, and I'll show you more about that chain in a little bit more depth in just a moment here, but to double crochet, you're going to go like you're going to hook your yarn, but you're just going to, it's called yarn over. So you're going to wrap that yarn around your hook. Then you're going to go into your chain here and you're going to count back 3. So 1, 2, 3. I look at the little bumps on the top. It should look kind of like a braid at the top. If you have it where it looks more like it has bumps in the center, then you have it backwards. So you want it where it looks more like a braid on the top, and you're going to count the bumps at the top. So 1, 2, 3. So you're going to yarn over, like I said. You're going to take your hook, and this is where this little point here on the hook comes in handy, is you're going to take this hook and you're going to place it right here underneath these two pieces of yarn. So you're going to place it inside. You see how I have it pointed down there? And you're going to go in between and push your hook through. So now you have these 2 around your hook as well as these 2. Then you're going to do like normal, where you grab your yarn and you're going to pull it through those 2 pieces of yarn. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. Then what you do is you're going to hook your yarn again, and you're going to pull it through 2 of the loops. So now you only have 2. Show you that again. So you have 3. You're going to loop and you're going to pull through, and it's going to go down to 2. And then you're going to hook your yarn again and pull through those last 2. So it's yarn over, go through your loop, hook your yarn, pull through 2, well, that's actually technically 1, but it's 2 pieces of yarn. Hook, pull through 2, hook, pull through 2. And there's your double crochet. Now you see this is that chain, how we went back to the chain 3 and had that extra chain. So that turns out to be a double crochet. If you're ever reading a pattern, it's going to tell you whether to count that as a double crochet or not. So in this one, we're going to count it. So right now we have 1, 2, 3 double crochet on your chain. This is going to be one of the hardest parts of learning to crochet, is getting it into this chain. It's such a small thing. You got to worry about not twisting it, and it doesn't have any weight to it. Once it gets a little bit more weight and you can really see where to crochet in the next couple of rows, it turns out so much easier. So don't lose hope on this. You just got to keep practicing. And kind of show you a little bit better, when you pull your hook through, you're going, see how you have the bump and then you have the middle piece of yarn going through. You're going right under that middle piece of yarn. So all you want is this one piece here. So yarn over, go through there. Don't forget, you can turn your hook as you need to, but make sure you use that hook. Pull it through, hook it again, pull it through 2, hook it again, pull it through 2. Yarn over. Sometimes you might, like what I was just doing there, I gotta kind of feed it through until I can feel it on the other side. Hook it, pull, hook it, pull, hook it, pull. So you're gonna go over and do this to the very last row. So I'm going to go over a couple more. Try not to go too fast for you. So yarn over. Don't force it. Sometimes your yarn will split. Like just then when I had to pull it back out. You don't want to split that bottom ring, or that bottom loop. You see how that's splitting the bottom. You see how it's got a little bit on one side, a little bit on the other side. That's when you want to pull your hook back out, kind of lay it flat again, and try to go a little bit higher. There we go. So make sure you don't split it again. Hook it, pull it through, hook it, pull it through, hook it, pull it through. So this will be the hardest one, because if you, also another thing you're going to notice is I am holding it now with my middle and my ring finger and my thumb, because if you just do it kind of like this, it's kind of, well, it's not too hard, but I like a little bit more stability and to tighten it. And sometimes you're going to have to hold this one over here with your ring finger and your thumb to give it that tension where you can see where you're going. It's your hands working in harmony together. So if you need to, go ahead and rewind and go back through and watch me do these front chains again. But I'm going to go ahead and fast forward it from here until the very last one, and I will show you from there what's going on to go to the next row. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so now we're at the end here. You've got one left. So for this one, you're going to do your regular double crochet. It might be a little bit harder because that knot's in the way. But you do your double crochet, see? And that's our first row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we have a row of 25 stitches. So for the second row, you're going to chain like you did before, just yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So you're going to chain twice. You're going to turn your work around so that it's facing this way, because now we're working back into these rows. So, and these rows are going to line up to each other. So what you're going to do is yarn over. This time you're going to go right into this spot. I'm trying to point to it here. That spot right there with your hook. You're going to have 2 of the pieces of yarn going over your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through that. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So you see how they're lining up on top of each other? And you're going to do that 25 times across the top. So when you are doing something straight like this, like a scarf, and you want 25 every time, you're going to have to count. If you don't, you're going to end up missing a stitch, and then it's going to start doing this number, or it's going to start going like this out. So you want to count whenever you're doing something straight like this. It's not always going to be the case. Some stitches are really nice that you can tell if you've missed a stitch at all. So this, yeah, so for a double crochet and a straight row thing, like a blanket, a scarf, a wash rag, or something like that, then you're gonna have to count your stitches across. So I'll show you this one more time. So you're going to yarn over, go through that space right there, yarn over again, pull through that loop, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2. So the next one, you see how you can pretty much tell, it's almost like it's pointing to the next space that you're going to crochet in. Yarn over, go through once, go through twice, go through 2. Go through 1, 2, 2. So we're at, and if you ever lose count, you can go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at 9. This is number 10. 11. 12. 13. And you will get faster as you go. If you're not happy with your stitch, if it's like you do this kind of, hold on, if it's really loose and it just doesn't match all the other stitches, you see how this one's really long and these are short, then just pull your hook out, pull gently, and you can do that one all over again. You don't have to be unhappy with the tension. So, and this is an example of even tension. All the stitches are the same size. None of them are going bigger, smaller. I could do, let's see. So say this one's going to be really loose. And then we're going to do one that's really, really, really tight. Oh, there, I went splitting my yarn again. But you see how it's kind of creating kind of a bump there. And it's okay to do that for your very first thing that you crochet. Don't get too frazzled about it to the point where you just don't want to do it ever. You're working towards this goal of even tension. So you're going to go all the way to the end. And I'm going to show you one more time how to do the next row. So, and this will be, like I said, a basic double stitch scarf, so nothing too fancy, but it is nice. It keeps you warm. So we're going to count here. Since we're getting towards the end, we're going to go ahead and count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So then I'm going to go 24. And so this last one is going to be in this second chain. So I'm going to go down here into the second chain of that bottom row and do my number 25. So, and that'll be the same case with over here where you just began that row, and I'll show you in just a moment. But okay, so to go to your next row one more time, you chain 2, turn your work. You don't go in this stitch right here. I'll try to get that away from me so you can see it. You don't go in the stitch right here. This stitch is the same stitch as what you just chained into. You go into the next one. Some patterns will call for you to chain into the same one as, or to stitch into the same one as you just chained. And I know this sounds like Greek until you really get it, but you want to go into the one right above the second double crochet, not the same one. So yarn over, go through your space, hook it, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. Yarn over, pull it through 1, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. So let me go ahead and go through this row. Like, once again, if you need to back it up to see that again, go ahead. But I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and go through this so I can show you that last chain again. So I'm going to see you in just a moment. Alright, so we're back at 24. And then remember, so there's 1 chain, 2 chains. So we're going to double crochet into that second chain, and there's your 25. So that's what we're going to work on now, is to practice these rows all the way up. Okay, so there's another way that you can do this. So you have your starter row with your double crochet in your starter chain, and this way builds a little bit more texture to it, so it's not just parallel rows like that. It is parallel rows, it's just not, like I said, it adds texture. So if you take your work, you chain 2, turn your work, and so instead of going into this stitch right here, we're going to go between the double crochets. So you got your first 2, so you yarn over, you go in between, hook your yarn and pull it through 1, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. So it's in this big gap between the rows. So yarn over, go between the double crochets, pull through, pull through, pull through. And you just do this across. Sorry if you hear my son, he's playing. And so yarn over, pull through, pull through, pull through. So yeah, just go across. You're still going to do 25, so you're going to still count. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to meet you at the end so I can show you how to finish this one off. So I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, so there's 24, and in this last one you're going to just do it in the very top there. So 25. And you see how when you lay it down, instead of being directly on top, it actually kind of offsets it, which is really nice. So there's another way that you could do this scarf. It's still going to be the same length and the same amount on the rows. So for this stitch, if you, at the end, you chain 2, turn your work. Once again, you're going to go into between the first 2 double crochet, and you're going to just go all the way across with that. Make sure you count. Okay, so we're back to the end. So make sure you go into that end stitch. So this one looks kind of funny. Okay, so you see this big loop here, this loop here, that loop there, that loop here. So you want to go right in between these top two loops here, right here, and push it through, and it does grab the back and the front there. So there are two on your stitch there. So that's the second row. Do you see the difference in the texture? I'll put a picture up here of the other stitch for you so you can see the difference. So you can do either or. It's not going to make a big difference, or it's going to make a difference, but it's just not going to make a difference in the size or the length that we're going to do. Something else that I recommend that you do is maybe have a notepad that has, you can write down what project you're doing, write down how many stitches across, so we're doing 25, and DC stands for double crochet across, and then we're going to do 90 to 120 rows depending on how long we want the scarf. I know that sounds like a lot, but it works up really fast with the double crochet. And then another thing that I have found that's very helpful with it, write down what size hook you're using. Because sometimes I grab my hooks to do other projects between projects, and that's just something that I like to do. So if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. If you have any questions, definitely comment below and I'll include them in the next video. In the next video, hopefully we'll have these rows done, and then I can teach you how to make fringe at the bottom of it if you want. Or actually let me know in the comments whether you want this scarf to be with pockets, because there's a way to fold it up, sew it up on the ends to make pockets, or you can do fringe. There's just different ways you can finish it off. So if you'll, comment that in the bottom and we'll go with that. And then the next stitch tutorial that I'll do will be, we can do a washcloth with cotton yarn, and I'll teach you how to do a single crochet then. So as I said, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you later. Bye.